brutal when a switch comes into, say, Ultralisk. It's a pretty simple switch, relatively speaking. Instead of getting that switch, which, as I said, is absolutely brutal, or Vikings, which are really vulnerable to a brutal switch, he instead gets Ghosts, which, let's see how Ghosts work. And these mutas are just sort of doing their muta-y business. I would like to see Zerg get higher upgrades, put down perhaps another Evo Chamber, and in fact he did. And I'd like to see him use this Greater Spire, get Flyer attacks level 2, but this, getting drop play available is very good. And preemptive turreting, not a bad choice, and at this point you worry so little about your minerals that it doesn't matter if you mana up your mineral lines, and we see, and here it is. I'm actually going to go back. I know you guys want to see this, because I do. So we see the Broodlords coming in and just sort of wreaking havoc, right? So what does our Terran buddy BratOk do? He brings in Ghosts and he starts sniping, and why don't you just look at this? Why, those are a lot of dead Broodlords. Now he's out of energy, and the Broodlords are still alive, but that was 5 down to 2. Really, really fast without having a unit that's really vulnerable. I mean, it's still not great, but I can tell you guys a little bit later that versus Ultralisks, they're not bad. Generally, the problem with Ultralisks is that Vikings are just worthless against them, because there's nothing Vikings can do against them. Landed Vikings versus Ultralisks is like infants versus Muhammad Ali. But you can snipe anything Zerg has. And so therefore, Ghosts are actually pretty strong units. Versus, and I do love this, just like, yeah, we got a Nidus Worm back here. Oh shit, Hellions, go, kill it, kill it. And this is the coolest animation in the game. Oh, that's awesome. The Nidus Worm burning up. I love it when that happens. But at any rate, he had a Nidus Worm there for fun, just a scouting Nidus Worm. Oh my god, I love it. And this is a pretty strong army. Yes, he has adrenal glands, good. Cracklings are unbelievably amazing. Now, he might be over Broodlording just a little bit, because you don't need this many. They're siege units. They're not meant to be DPS. They're just meant to make the opponent uncomfortable. Oh, and here is just the worst backstab in history. Bring your Hellions back, hurry! Hurry, oh no, they're killing our supply bed. Why? This back door is open. Better make a planetary fortress. That is the most beastly thing in the world. Like, oh no! My door's left open. Perhaps a thief could get in. I'd better protect it by building. I'd better protect it using a space-age missile defense system. Like, it's, if you're gonna be awesome, if you're gonna go big. And now we have 2 Hellions coming in, harassing. At this point in the game, actually, I'd like to see these Hellions. I'm sorry, guys, I can't speak today. I'd like to see these Hellions kill Larva, because Larva. Oh, I watched it again. It's so amazing, and this is just annoying. Doing this, building a ton of Nidus Worms everywhere just to force your opponent to react. Now, Zerg has been on 5 base for a little while. Now, actually, Terran is on 4 base. Only some of them are mining, like Terran's mined out in his main, while Zerg isn't, but Terran has mules. This is a very strong composition. It's a good amount of Hellions. I was playing some guy, the same guy who had the roaches, who claimed I was a worse player than him, simply because I used this ledge and he didn't have any spotting. He said that having Hellions was worthless if I wasn't harassing with them and he wasn't going Zerglings, and instead I should have gotten Marines. I actually challenged that, because what is the point of Hellions? Hellions give you map control, Hellions are fast, Hellions do splash damage. Now, splash damage is really rare, and sure, Hellions are really just mostly an anti-light tool, but think of it this way. Eventually, there are so many Hellions that their splash damage is doing more damage than can conceivably be. Or more damage. Once again, I can't speak. Splash damage raises their DPS considerably. Oh! Did he just neural parasite a ghost? You are so handsome. You're so handsome, Darkforce. And this is sort of a scary moment for Zerg, because look at how devastating these ghosts are being. We saw an EMP right there go down, and why is he trying to neural parasite these ghosts? Oh my god, he just EMP'd the guy's ghost by neural parasiting. Holy crap, we're going back. That is the most pro thing ever. Just watch this. So he's neural parasiting a ghost so he can EMP the ghosts. That is so cool. And, I mean, you're just watching the ghost shred through all this hive tech. It's just being obliterated. He neural parasites the ghost. That is so cool. And actually, this should be enough Thors to kill this. But that's a lot of Broodlords, and there aren't that many ghosts remaining. Now, as I was saying before, Marines in this situation wouldn't give you all that much help. I mean, Marines are a great unit, and they're a unit that's pretty much defines Terran at this point. But simultaneously, Marines in this situation won't help you much, because their DPS is really high for their cost, but in this situation, you want that splash damage, and you want the mobility of the Hellion. The Marine has to stay in the ball, or else it's going to die, because it's just completely unprotected by anything else. Marines can't survive on their own, really. And would Marines really be that useful versus these? No. The Broodlings are light, and they have no health at all. So, Hellions are really great for cleaning up the mess that is Broodlings. What is he dropping? He's dropping 4 Hellions. And so even, they're useful to have for drops, and just in general, they're a great unit. They're really cheap. You can mass it super easily. And if you're going mech, you're going to have a bunch of extra minerals anyway. And Hellions are the Hellions are the smarter drop, or Hellions are the smarter dump, because you... Oh geez, there's just some lagitude going on there. Hellions are the smarter dump because they gain your upgrades. So you want that upgrade consistency. And you're looking at this, I mean, what is this? 7 ghosts and 2 Thors versus the Broodlings of the Zerg, or Broodlords of the Zerg, and that is absolutely like beastly Broodlords. But these snipes are so cool and cost efficient that the Broodlings of the Zerg are actually Broodlords of the Zerg. My God, can I not speak? Are actually being repelled. Now there was a Nidusworm over here that I just chose not to show you because I was watching Broodlords versus Ghosts. But here we see the Zerg absolutely raping Terran's main. Doobie-doo. And the Terran trying to respond, but not really all that well. Terran losing some factories, and does he not have... Alright, his production hotkey is 1 for his factories. Now, this actually may be more significant than one would expect for the Terran, because he's been going a very heavy Hellion style. Most of his Hellions are dead, and those were all of his reactor factories. So he might want to put down a few more factories, and Terran's economy is actually doing pretty well, but a great use of infestors here to throw infested Terrans over this tiny little gap. I do not understand why units can't just jump. Like, why can't you jump over there? What happens? That is less of a gap than the gap up this cliff, so shouldn't Reapers be able to jump small gaps? That's what I think. So the Terran doing pretty well, actually, on his economy. And if we look at the production tab, he's producing 6 more factories. That seems prudent. The Zerg is about to lose his expansion. Now, I don't like the fact that the Terran has stopped producing Ghosts. Ghosts really won him the last engagement, and there are a whole lot of Broodlords. Now, I do think Darkforce is over Broodlording. This is too many. You don't need this many to kill Terran. Maybe what I would like to do is kill all the Broodlords, then just switch to Zerglings, because you could, or kill all the Hellions and then switch to Zerglings, because Zerglings are so cheap to produce and so easy to mass that you could just run in with Zerglings and rip this to shreds, because there'd be so many they wouldn't be able to handle it. And as long as the tanks run siege, then, which you could do with your Broodlords, then they would be able to just win the day. Another epic thing just happened. They again neural parasited a ghost and then EMP'd the other ghosts, and now we're going to see the Broodlord. Oh, and then he fungal grows the Thors on the ramp. Oh my God. Oh my God, Darkforce, you are so awesome. Because that way the Thors can't run away from the Broodlings. Oh, Darkforce, give it to me harder. Yes, fungal growth it again. Bam, that's amazing. And then he runs back home with his tail between his legs, and these Broodlings should be able to catch it. Do Broodlings move faster on creep? No, but they do have a really high movement speed. So Terran's about to lose this base. Now, let's stop it right here. If you're Terran in this situation, all you need to do is you need to, and he's also losing this base and this base. If you're Terran in this situation, yeah, because this many Broodlords can kill a base. You need to just think about this in damage control. Damage control feeling. If we actually look at the units tab here, really, this isn't that big of an army. This is 13 Broodlords, which is super scary, 4 Infestors, which should be more, and then 31 Zerglings. So if you're... Oh, man. That's a good Hellion number, especially against these Zerglings. So if you're Terran, you need to think of this in a term of damage control. You need to think, ghosts were working. I should get more ghosts. I should probably also get out some Vikings, because he's clearly not going to stop going Broodlords. Or he may even think, I'm going to resign myself away from Vikings, because he already has so much air control. You need to sack this base. You need to try to let it last as long as possible without losing anything. You can't try to protect this base, because this base is already going down. You do not have the sufficient forces. You need to think, okay, maybe lift the command center, maybe run the SCVs away, but don't lose a bunch of stuff saving an inevitably dead thing. Because you don't have enough forces to repel this, there's no point in defending this base. I mean, you could send over, say, a Thor or a Viking to try to dissuade them, but if they're a smart player, they'll know when they can put the boot to your throat. And therefore, you should more be concerned with staying alive, delaying your death, allowing you to get the necessary tech or units out, and not worrying about, say, keeping an expansion with like 5 mineral patches left alive. So let's keep going with the game. And we've just seen some epic Hive Tech versus Ghost action, which is, by the way, a matchup I love. I adore this. Hive Tech versus Ghost, because Ghosts are good against Ultralisks and Infestors and Broodlords. So Snipe is awesome. So at this point, I'd like to see him lift this, or he's just going to push the center with Hellions. And killing Creep at this point is actually really good, because killing Creep's a great delaying tactic. It forces Zerg to worry about his map vision and his map control, and these Hellions actually, there's not... Oh my god, Zerg's army is immobile, and so he's going to be able to rush in here and kill everything with these Hellions, because the most mobile thing he has are Infestors, and Infestors aren't mobile, really. Man, this was really good play, because he realized the Zerg has invested a lot in these big, scary, but super slow Broodlords. And this is a lot of turrets that... Yeah, the Broodlords are going to be fine, because they're all in range, or they're all out of range. Really? Alright, guys, I don't think a single Broodlord will die to these turrets. Planetary Fortress has 63 kills. Wow, that's a lot of kills on this Planetary Fortress. I wish Planetary Fortresses could lift and then shoot air. How overpowered would that be? But he also has building armor, so therefore the Broodlings don't do actually that much damage. 88 kills, is it gonna get to 100? No, it's not. But these supply depots are right for the picking.